Osio Halito. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm coming at y'all with some shit that we need to discuss. Okay? We need to discuss this shit. Now, I'm gonna wait till some people come on in. Come on in. The baddest witch in town. That's what some people call me. No. But I am a Creole indigenous spiritual practitioner. I go by many names. But we're going to dig into this shit. What our ancestors did prior to the Bible. What they hide from us. Whenever the colonizers came and they tried to take over, they would send in their religious people, their missionaries. It's psycho-spiritual warfare. Psychological spiritual warfare. They would send the missionaries in first. Gain your trust. Like, oh, we come in peace. We're peaceful people, right? They get you to change your spirituality. Get you to change your view on great mystery, the feminine aspect of God. Great spirit, the father, male aspect of God. They got us to, not us, but they got some of our ancestors to change their view of what the source of all things is in spirituality and culture. They allowed them to usurp them, their ways of life. So we're going to dig into some of the powerful women of the Bible. I kind of touched on it a little bit with one of my little snippets, but we about to go in. Yeah, they try to just focus on the meek and submissive women in the Bible. And the ones that was badass, the caricatures in the Bible that were badass, that represent the real power of the womb, the woman, the womb man. They don't want to show you that shit. They have like one line, like in a movie. You know how some of the characters just have one line when they should have had like a whole dialogue, you know. When they should have had a whole dialogue. Peace. Just a minute. Tune on in. All right, y'all. I'm back. Gave some of y'all a chance to tune in. All right. Now, the women characters of the Bible, the ones that's badass, that represent what our ancestors did in spirituality and culture before they were colonized, they give them one-liners and shit, or a little scripture. Lilith was one. Y'all know about Lilith, right? Do some research on Lilith. All right. But the ones that I really want to talk about are relevant to me. In 1 Samuel 28. All right, 1 Samuel 28 is dealing with Saul. Remember, Saul was the king before David slept with his wife, and their God anointed an adulterer. Crazy, right? But anyway, Saul, he had banned mediums and spiritists. He had banned them, and they were women, wombmen, right? He banned them, but when he was going through all this turmoil because their God was about to anoint David to be the king, Saul was going through all this turmoil, right? Because he wanted to basically kill David, right? Why wouldn't you want to hurt somebody that slept with your wife and stole your wife? Anyway, so Saul, he had banned the women spiritists, the women mediums, because in ancient times, they went to the woman. She was the wise woman. When she had her menses, her period, she went off to the women's lodge or wherever the women went, and they convened amongst themselves, and they had that life-giving blood. They were shedding that, and the womb holds the power, the key to the dimensions, the spiritual realm, the heavens, right? So he banned them, right? But he was in a bind because he stopped having dreams and visions, right? His God had forsaken him. So he said, go get me a woman medium spiritist. So he came before her, and because they had been outlawed, he reassured her, don't be scared. I want you to do this for me. I want you to conjure up a prophet for me. And she did. She conjured up a prophet because women have the key, the portal to life. They can summon the spiritual realm. They can go into the spiritual realm. They can go in between worlds and communicate with the spiritual realm. So Saul, he sought after a woman, a powerful medium spiritist. But you don't hear that in your Sunday sermons much, do you? So all the women, the powerful women out there that do spiritual work, all you hoodooists, voodooists, practitioners, Southern folk magic, Creole. Y'all know I deal with my Creole bloodline, my indigenous bloodline. So I'm talking to my peoples out there, my melanated peoples that's in, you a Bruja, you flow in all of these, you a Sybil, you all these things, these powerful women things. I'm touching on the women in the Bible, the one-liners, the one scripture women that they don't focus on. They just want to focus on Ruth and Mary and what was her name? Rebecca, and all of these women of the Bible that are submissive. Now, there's some that's kind of powerful. Deborah, when I was in the church, I kind of identified with Deborah. She was a judge. because Libra is the judge, the justice of the zodiac astrology, right? So Deborah was like one woman judge, so some of them are seen in a powerful light, but most of them are like just basically submissive, and they got a whole paragraph on how they submitted and did all these humbling things. You rarely see them in warrioress, powerful form, right? Lilith, they gave her a couple scriptures, basically. She was quote unquote the character Lilith. She was Adam's first wife, but she was a rebel and she was out of there. She got, she already had the knowledge, so she was out of there. So they put little clues in there for y'all. Y'all just gotta recognize them, discern them, and decipher them. So we're gonna put, okay, powerful women of the Bible. Okay. All right. It says amazing women in the Bible. Study bold biblical women. Let's look at this one because they focus on the bold biblical women. Let's see what they got to say. Y'all tuning in later? Yeah. I'm going to do another one when people are up and we can really interact. But this has been on my mind. I've been supposed to did a video on this. Alright, so, oh, they trying to sell some shit. Let me see. Oh, okay. They kind of list them. They talk about the Levite concubine. Now, in some of the Hindu and like Middle East traditions, some of those cultures, they had these places where men would go to get basically sexual healing, basically. And it's certain things that's done with sex magic where a person can be healed. So they kind of briefly touch on her, but they don't give you the real science of what these concubines were doing. But all of them converted, right? They all converted to this God of the Bible. So you see how they put those stories in there. They want to get you away from the powerful womanhood that our ancestors embraced, the powerful wise woman. Esther, she was like the virgin. They focus on like the virgins. Yes, virgins are powerful. Yes, they are. Mary and Martha, they focus on them. Abigail, the unseen side of injustice. Tabitha, Dorcas, and Jezebel. Now, in anything, there's a good side and an evil side. So, even the Jezebel character and the one that cut Samson's hair off, what was her name? Delilah. They give you these stories, but some of the stories they have little bits and pieces of stories that predate the Bible. So what you want to do is research the origin of the Bible and keep going back to your ancestors' spirituality and culture, and you'll start seeing how our ancestors embraced powerful women. All right. A lot of indigenous stories talk about how there was a woman like Selu, Zocato. They taught the tribe how to do prayers and affirmations through the sacred pipe. That's how when you inhale, you say your prayers and affirmations, you exhale, and the smoke goes to great mystery, great spirit. Your declaration is heard. Okay. Now they mention Rahab, a woman who feared God only. Okay, so fear and reverence and respect. Okay. Why can't they just focus on women that had a respect for the source of all things? Because they're the mirror image of the source of all things. Reverence and respect versus fear. Think about that. The widow's offering. Okay, Eve, you know they like butchered Eve. Oh, she's the cause of women's downfall. But y'all missed the point where it said that the serpent, which represents wisdom in some ancient literature, ancient writings, it represents wisdom like a high, godly wisdom, right? And so she took a bite of the fruit and her eyes were open, and she offered it to Adam. His eyes were open. And it says they were like God. They could see, they knew the truth. Y'all missed that part. So basically, she was a truth seeker. She wanted to know the truth. And so she shared it with her man. She was like, the keeper of wisdom, the serpent, said if we eat this, we gonna see things and know things just like the source of all things, just like God, great spirit, great mystery. And so she did, and she shared it with her man. His eyes was open too. So because they were truth seekers, they were punished. You get that? That is crazy. Because you a truth seeker, you are punished. Even today, when people are awakening and people know about the truth, they're awakening to truths, things that were hidden. These things are being uncovered. A lot of people that are standing for truth are demonized. I've been demonized and all that type of shit y'all wouldn't believe. But I go forward, baby, because I am the rebel, according to them. But I'm just flowing in my power, right? So it's a lot of women. Japheth's daughter, Hagar, the woman who named God. And they demonized Hagar because Sarah and her husband, she allowed her husband to sleep with Hagar because she couldn't have no kids. And then she had a kid later. And it talks about how they are brothers and one is on this side, one is on that side. Then you got the Jesus and the Satan, the devil character. That is just the good and the bad side, the good and the evil side. That everybody can flow in your good flow energy, or you can flow in that other side. Everybody has that. It's just the choices you make. The choices you make. All right. The persistent widow house. She just kept praying and praying and praying. Now, with prayer and affirmations, you got to put work behind it. You can't just sit there waiting on shit to happen and fall out the fucking sky. You got to be proactive. They leave that out. Esther versus Vashti. Priscilla and Aquila. Elizabeth and Mary. Deborah. What did I say about Deborah? Okay, Deborah is the judge. She's like Judge Judy, but they gave her the male version. Okay. All right. Okay. They said digging deeper. Deborah was a busy woman in Judges 4 chapter 4, verse 5. She held court under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. And the Israelites went up to her to have their disputes decided. They went to a woman judge. How about that? Deborah was a woman of great wisdom, revelation, and discernment. She also had a prophetic gift, including knowing the times and seasons. See, that's why even when I was a prophetess in church, I identified with Deborah. I had this lady that didn't even freaking know me. I was like in like this area here where like the weirdos hang out, like what they call the weirdos, like tattoo artists and all kind of eccentric people. I was out there praying and witnessing to people and everything. I was doing my prayer ministry and shit. She just came up to me and she was like, "You just giving me Deborah. You're just like Deborah of the Bible." And I'm like, "Girl, yeah, I've been identifying with Deborah, so I feel you on that. I feel you on that." But they gave her, some good accolades in the Bible. She was a judge, okay? Yes, Deborah was legitimately, she called herself a judge, a prophetess, a deliverer, an intercessor. They threw worshiper in there. So, what women do y'all want to talk about? What powerful women in the Bible y'all want to talk about that represent pieces or little characteristics that resemble ancient stories of powerful women from your ancestors' spirituality and culture? Let me know. Comment, send me a message, and we will get into it. We will talk about it. But I just want to like throw it out there so y'all can be thinking on it and we can really discuss it and dialogue about it. But I just had to put throw that little seed out there. So I'm gonna turn it in. It's just something to marinate on and we can discuss it in depth later. It's Wednesday night. I don't know what y'all doing on Wednesday, but I'm kind of chilling and relaxing now. So I had time, and this has been on my mind to do for a while. But yeah, the spiritists and the mediums, they was active. And they had to go like underground because they was banned. They was flowing in their ancestors' spirituality. What do you think a prophet and a prophetess is? It's just the converted seers, converted mediums, converted mystics, the converted spiritists. That's all prophets and prophetess are. Think about it. Think about what our ancestors was doing before colonization. Because when our people was converted, the holy men and women, the shamans, the medicine women and men, they became the nurses, the chiefs are like the pastors, the ministers. You got all the different people on the panels. They became the deacons and all these things in the church. They just changed the name. And then they just start usurping that Bible, the script, had them following the script. But some churches still mix, like those holiness churches, they still mix indigenous Creole spirituality, Southern folk spirituality with the Bible. Y'all notice that, right? So, if y'all got some comments, let me know. We will discuss this further. All right? I love y'all. I share you. And remember, you don't have to be stifled and smothered and put on the back burner in your religion, woman. You can flow in your ancestors' spirituality and culture and do you. You can deliver people. You can encourage people, give them wise counsel. You can do a lot of things with your birth giving gifts, your birthright. It's your fucking birthright to flow in your power. So flow. Peace.